Welcome to our analysis of the cinematic storytelling and legacy of Kane's Soul Reaver 2. Soul Reaver 2 is known for its rich, complex narrative and its stunning cinematic sequences. The game picks up where the previous installment, Soul Reaver, left off, with Raziel seeking revenge against Kane for his betrayal. As Raziel travels through time and space, he encounters a cast of characters who help to flesh out the game's lore and backstory. From the ancient vampire Vordor to the enigmatic Mobius, each character is brought to life through high-quality voice acting and detailed facial animations. The game's cinematic cutscenes also serve to punctuate the action, providing a sense of weight and importance to Raziel's battles and decisions. Throughout the game, Raziel is plagued by visions and prophecies, which are depicted through a combination of cutscenes and in-game events. These sequences add an extra layer of depth to the story, exploring themes of fate, free will, and the nature of good and evil. As Raziel's journey comes to a close, the game's cinematic storytelling reaches its peak in the epic final battle against Kane. The stakes are high, and the outcome will have far-reaching consequences for the world of Nosgoth. Legacy of Kane's Soul Reaver 2 is a prime example of cinematic storytelling in video games. Its rich narrative, memorable characters, and stunning cutscenes all come together to create an unforgettable experience that will leave players wanting more. Legacy of Kane's Soul Reaver 2 is known for its rich and complex narrative, brought to life through its stunning cinematic sequences. The game follows the story of Raziel, a vampire-turned-spectral warrior, on his quest for revenge against Kane, his former master. Throughout the game, Raziel is confronted with philosophical questions about time, fate, and the nature of existence. These themes are explored through thought-provoking dialogues between characters and visually stunning cutscenes. The game's cinematic storytelling is evident in its use of cutscenes to advance the plot and develop the characters. These cutscenes are often lengthy and detailed, featuring high-quality voice acting and motion capture animation. The game's characters are well developed, with distinct personalities and motivations. The dialogue is well written and often philosophical, adding to the game's mature and sophisticated tone. The game's environments are also meticulously designed, with a strong sense of place and history. These environments serve as the backdrop for the game's story and add to the game's cinematic atmosphere. As Raziel delves deeper into the mysteries of Nosgoth, he uncovers the truth about the history of his world and the forces that have shaped it. These revelations add depth and complexity to the story, making for a truly unforgettable experience. Seraphan Raziel, on the other hand, was once a pure and righteous being, but after being resurrected by the Seraphan Brotherhood, he has been twisted and corrupted by their dark influence. He now sees Raziel as a heretic and wants nothing more than to destroy him. The battle between these two is not just physical, but also philosophical. On one side we have Raziel, who seeks to correct the imbalance of Nosgoth and restore order. On the other, we have Seraphan Raziel, who sees himself as the savior of Nosgoth and wants to destroy anyone who stands in his way. The game's final scenes are particularly cinematic, with sweeping camera angles and dramatic sequences that tie up loose ends and set the stage for the sequel. In conclusion, Legacy of Kane's Soul Reaver 2 is a prime example of cinematic storytelling in video games. Its use of cutscenes, gameplay, characters, environments, and flashbacks all contribute to a rich and immersive story that keeps players engaged from beginning to end.
And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. And I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.